And they continue this with this whole, you're crazy thing, you're crazy thing. How many cases do we have of women reporting? How many cases where women are told they're crazy if they report? Every step of the way, I was in shock. I had been sexually assaulted. I was in shock when I was dragged into the police station and told I was crazy. I was a whore. I was a prostitute. I didn't deserve my assets. They locked me up in the psych ward, professional after professional interviewing me, and it was the same story. My marriage, I was kept from the finances. It was domestic violence, and I'd just been sexually assaulted, and my mother was involved with my ex-husband. Story after story after story, I told the same story to these professionals, and every single one of them outright denied what I was saying, told me I needed psych meds, told me I needed to be locked up, and told me I was delusional and lying. This is what's going on with systemic and legal abuse towards women. And there's story after story. And these people go on national TV and say, oh, we're never going to let this happen again. We're going to take steps that this won't happen again. These cases are horrible of the woman locking up her son in a room for 20 years. Ask my mother about her little torture chamber in her garage. She's so sick now. Ask my sister who's on psych meds now after violently assaulting someone and then telling me I need psych meds. No, Renee, I don't need psych meds. That's the one thing that God blessed me. I don't have. You would think I would. You would think I would have mental health issues out of all this abuse, but I don't. Because God has called me to speak out that people do need treatment and care, and they don't need to be locked up. All the women at the jail needed their meds. They were on meds. And you know what those COs did? They would deny their meds. While they chased me around abusing me and telling me I was a prostitute, I needed meds. Well, I was never a prostitute, okay? They just are misogynist. They have these horrible stereotypes against the underclass, and they all do it together. They all stick together. And then you go from the jail to the police station, and you get these cops that have the same misogynist, horrible attitudes. And I'm not even going to get into racism because that's not my lane. But I'm advocating for women that, you know what? You're not allowed to come from the underclass and be educated and have a new car. My sister-in-law couldn't. My sister-in-law pleaded for help too. She had done nothing wrong. She had been driving around a nice little sports car. She had owned her own home, and they went after her viciously, till she lay in a hospital bed and looked absolutely horrible. She had looked great a few months before when I saw her, and then my mother knocks on the door and tells me she passed away. She passed away? No. Say her name and say more women's name, because this is what these men get together and do to women with their horrible attitudes towards women, and it's legally sanctioned. They drag you through court. They drag you through all this gaslighting. They tell you you're crazy. Why? Because you want to be treated with respect, because your name should go on things that you rightfully earned. I made more money than my ex-husband. I made more money. I did more work. He was drunk every weekend, and I have every single professional telling me I have an alcohol problem. I never drank throughout my entire marriage. He drank 3 cases a week and smoked cigarettes, and the receipts are there at Bill's Beverage. But do they do due diligence? Do they follow up? No, they haven't followed up with anything. They keep telling me, oh, it's all a delusion. It's a delusion at the hospital. It's a delusion at the jail. They get their psych meds, or excuse me, their psych nurses and their psych doctors to make up a bunch of stuff about you. Oh, you're not a professional. You didn't have a career. You didn't own your own home. You didn't own a brand new car that they stole from me. Outright stole a brand new car. How many girls grow up poor can walk into a dealership and buy not 1 new car with cash, but 2? But they couldn't stand it. They can't stand it when somebody from the underclass actually does do well. They have to go right after you like a bunch of jackals, don't they? Every single one in this group of friends, they've been friends since they were kids, and then they laugh and they joke. Oh, we knew your mother's boyfriends. We knew Bud. We knew Fred. We knew these men, and they prey on you consistently until, oh yes, then they can force you into prostitution by setting up your marriage, by taking all your assets, by forcing you to live in the parking lot. This is what's going on in our communities. This is what women are speaking out about. Case after case after case. Oh, none of these judges could believe that your own mother can do this? Your own mother. Well, why don't you talk to that man who's suffering now after being locked locked up for 20 years. How horrible that these are the kind of judges we have in Amsterdam, New York, and Fulton County that actually could tell me, well, because your own mother don't like you, so you're not going to get any of the assets that you look, which were sizable, very sizable. And I speak for all women in this situation at this point, because these judges are vile and disgusting. I went to school with Mr. Katina. He knows the hell I was put through, just like Mr. Francisco, just like this little group of thugs, Judge Lorman. They all think this is funny. She was involved right from the start because I had an actual financial planner. Oh yes, the little welfare whore had a financial planner, and she was right in there too. And now she's the judge who sits there before the divorce even started and throws me on the street. And they all laugh, and they think this kangaroo court is what passes for justice. Yes, there are two levels of justice, isn't there? Because right out in the open, all these people can get away with this and think it's funny to attack and attack and attack till a person succumbs. We need change. We need all these agencies to be cleaned out of these horrible, abusive people and stop having the attitude that just because they come from the middle class, somehow they're superior to everybody else.